Hey guys, it's John sitting here in my living room with my mug of coffee. Mm. Mm. Is there absolute truth in spirituality? I on my channels I try to comment or at least deal with every comment that comes onto the channel. If you come onto my channel and you do negative comments or harmful comments or hurtful comments or name calling comments, I just kind of I don't I read it, I hide you from the channel. There's no need for my channel to have fear-based garbage on it. But one of the trends in the comments section that I find is people declaring their belief is the absolute truth. The reality of it is truth is subjective. People say, no, it's not. There's only one truth, right? If that was true, then there would be no religion. If there's only one truth, there'd be no religion. And Christians will tell you, no, Christianity is the one truth. They are the minority compared to the rest of the world. 70% of the world are not Christian. So they can't be the only truth. Buddhism can't be the only truth. Hinduism can't be the only truth. Islam can't be the only truth. But for each one of the people in those religions, it is their truth. It's their subjective chosen truth. They've chosen to believe it. And that's the religious aspect of it. The New Age aspect is just as bad, if not now worse, right? At least with the older traditions, you have ancient texts of exposed experiences of those people who went through those things. The New Age dogmas and absolute truths that are being espoused by people have no basis of evidence. It's all coming out of channels and psychics and people who claim that they're bringing information down from the Pleiadians, but there's no evidence of it. There's no proof of it anywhere. None. When you look at the channel, like the Law of One, it's a channel writing from the 80s, right? When you look at the Course in Miracles, the lady who wrote the Course in Miracles towards the end of her life said it was the worst thing she ever did, right? she hated it. But there are so many people who think it is the absolute truth. I think that everyone should be able to choose their own truth. If you look at what I say on the introduction video to my channel, I say I'm only speaking my truth. If it doesn't work for you, great. If it does work for you, great. As my mom said, spirituality is a personal journey. Each one of us is choosing our subjective choice. And so there can't be one singular choice, since we all have different perspectives. The key is finding the universal truths, to find the ones that are common in the various truths. That doesn't mean that those universal truths are in all of them. Well, universal implies that it's all in all of them, but it's the common truths that are in many of them, right? Love is in all of them. Kindness is in all of them. Your thoughts creating your experience is in most of them. It comes down to understanding that you have to find your personal truth. But the second you find your personal truth and you start espousing, this is the facts, I'm going to call you out on it on my channel. And I'm going to call you out with simple things like, show me any evidence that's not coming from a psychic or a channel. Because every psychic, every channel is filtering information through their own belief system. Edgar Casey's writings are peppered with very Christian doctrine stuff. But he was a devout Christian. Right. Every channel, every psychic in the world is getting some sort of information. Who knows whether it's strictly from something they read or something I heard somebody else say. A real good example of this is the after the movie The Da Vinci Code came out. The Da Vinci Code was based around a book called Holy Blood, Holy Grail. And Holy Blood, Holy Grail was actually about a guy, a French man, who he and a partner falsified documents and put them in church libraries all over Paris. And these falsified documents, very, very well documented story, I'm telling you right now. It's actually very documented because there are police records of them being caught creating these fake documents. And the reason they were creating the fake documents is because they were trying to prove that the one guy, he was a Frenchman. I think I want to say Pierre, but I could be totally wrong. I know I put this in other videos. If you look up the bloodline, the royal bloodline or something, there's a video on my channel that actually gives his name and everything. They were trying to prove that he was a descendant of Jesus. And so they're creating this bloodline to make him the descendant of Jesus. And the Holy Blood, Holy Grail was written as if these documents that were found were real. But we know 100% that they're not, because the police caught them in the act of creating one. But Holy Blood, Holy Grail came out, and Da Vinci Code became a really exciting movie about the idea of this bloodline of Jesus and all this stuff, the Sangreal, all that comes out of this fraud that happened with these two guys. Soon after the Da Vinci Code came out, psychics and mediums and channelers all started getting all this information about Mary Magdalene in France and basically all of this information that correlated with this fraud, because the people who were channeling, the psychics who were getting it, were believing the story of the fraudsters as opposed to the evidence that was actually there. There's no evidence anywhere that Mary Magdalene went to France, that Jesus went to France. There's no evidence anywhere, right? In the Middle Ages, mythological stories started coming out in England, in Ireland, in France, that tied Jesus to those locations. There's no evidence. There's mythological stories. The concept that this man from Judea ended up in France and Ireland, and if you believe the Mormons, he ended up in America too. And Joseph Smith claims that the main guy in Mormonism claims that the Garden of Eden is in Missouri, right? But this idea that there's an absolute truth being spoken in New Age ideologies and New Age dogmatism is also a complete fallacy. At least the Old Age stuff has ancient texts that they can lean into. New Age text has nothing but hearsay from people who are channeling or psychics, who are completely affected by the media of the time. They're believing that Mary went to France and had a baby, and there's even someone this morning even said, and the Templars took that baby to America and all. And I my only response to the person was, show me any evidence other than a channeler or a psychic. No, I'm going to get a response. I just sent that message out. I'll get a response from that, because there is no evidence of it. There is absolutely no evidence that happened. And you cannot take, you listen to the psychics, but you have to take your own discernment as to what works for you, because you're creating your experience. You're creating your truth. I hear someone telling me a bunch of New Age stuff. I tend to, because I think everything is far simpler. In my first regression, I literally said it's so simple we have a hard time comprehending it. And when I started hearing all these convoluted stories and all these messianic tales and all these things that are coming from the Palladians and the channelers and Archangel Michael and all this stuff, none of it's evidentiary. There's no evidence to any of it. There's just people saying it. There's hearsay. And all of the hearsay that's coming out of channelers and psychics and all that stuff is being filtered through their own belief system. And oftentimes their belief system creates more story from what they've heard. Modern uh, people who are very into the feminist movement are very much into this idea that Mary Magdalene was a super spiritual being like Jesus was. My personal belief is that they were people. They were people who completely loved each other. They were madly in love with each other. I believe that he found a truth and was teaching his truth, and she probably knew all about his truth and probably was living his truth too. Doesn't make her a supernatural being or the the split soul of Jesus, which someone recently said that they were split souls. The reality of it is that person who's saying that, that there were as equal number of female apostles as there were male apostles. No evidence to that whatsoever. Just a psychic or a channel saying it. And a lot of that comes out of the modern sensibilities being placed on an ancient time, which makes no sense. A lot of it also today is people marketing their information so they can get more followers, so they can get more ad revenue. So it's a business. It's a spiritual business. And I'm not saying that all of the psychics and channels are bad. Many of them are, probably most of them are very well intentioned people. I just don't think that they have the right to say that their information is infallible because they're flawed humans as well. And when people start saying this is what it is, and then other people are like, but she said, I get this all the time. The Course in Miracles says that Jesus said this, right? Or, well, Jesus said this in this book. Well, even biblically, Jesus said nothing, because those books are compiled from texts that were written 70 to 200 years after he walked the earth. The entire Bible is hearsay. So in the book, he doesn't say anything. People who did not know him said he said stuff. So it's all hearsay, right? It comes back to this idea that your spiritual truth is yours. And you can give your spiritual truth away by just believing one person is the direct information. People have deified Edgar Casey. People have deified Dolores Cannon. People have deified many people. They deified Doreen Virtue for a very long time, and then she switched her faith, and it was earth shattering for some people because this was supposed to be the truth teller, and now she says everything I said is a lie, right? So this concept that there's one truth is a complete fallacy. We each have our own truth. Truth is subjective. But when you try to push your truth on as the only truth, then I think you've bypassed spirituality and you've moved into narcissism. I am right and you are wrong. You will believe what I say. And I will tell you, I am very quick on my channel. If you just watch the comment section, you will see the moments where I shut people down pretty quickly when they start saying, this is what the truth is. Nope, that's your truth. You have to find your own truth. All the power is yours. All you have to do is step into it and literally express yourself into the world through the beliefs that you choose, through the truth that you live. You are your truth. You are your way and you are your life. You create your experience from that way. Mine's working really well for me. That's all I can say. The truth that I believe works well for me. What is my truth? That I am a normal person, that I am one with God, as we all are. I believe that when I give love, I get love. When I give hate, I get hate. And so I don't give hate, I give love. When I make it that simple. What I leave you one commandment, love one another. That's what Joshua supposedly said in the Bible. Well, it's pretty clear. Just love one another. Period. Just come into the simplicity of being love. And you know, Nikola Tesla said, if you want to understand the universe, you have to understand energy, frequency, and vibration. All three of them are a feeling. And when you put your energy into the frequency of love, you create a vibration that people feel, and they literally will be attracted to that loving sensation and be that love themselves. That's my basic truth. Basic truth right there. It works well for me. I live a pretty darn good life. I have wonderful, wonderful interaction with people. The people who are going to argue with me about this are the people who are trying to grab power by being right. I'm not trying to be right. Trying to be right for me. Not trying to be right for you. I'm not trying to prove that my theory is right. If you're trying to prove that your theory is right, that's because you're not confident in it. You're literally trying to say, this is what you have to believe, because you're trying to get the bandwagon, the people to come and get behind you with you. If it's complex, I'm not going to believe it. Spirituality is simple to me. It's so simple, we have a hard time comprehending it. So to me, that's my spiritual truth, right? But I don't in any way, shape, or form think that anyone has to take my truth. I don't, because truth is subjective, and truth is a choice. I would say, find your truth, try it out. If it works for you, keep doing it. If you choose a truth and you're constantly seeking and searching and worried about tomorrow and hoping you'll ascend and do all these things, I would have to question, what's the quality of your today? We only live in one moment. You do not get to the future. So you can't go back to the past. What's the quality of your today? If your quality of your day is a beautiful, loving life, then your spirituality is working for you. If your quality of today is always looking for something to fulfill you, or always trying to make yourself better so that you can ascend, or all these things, I think that you're living a less of a quality life than many people who just believe that God is love. And that's my thought on it. I'm not judging you. Everyone's welcome to their personal journey. Mine works for me. Find the one that works for you. And that's my thought on this. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.